Okay, this is a some video drone footage of a wildfire we had this afternoon. The original call came in about 4 p.m. and it was for a fire near a structure on Russell Chapel Lane in northern Hardin County, rural areas. So when we originally got there, it was not very close to the structure. It wasn't endangering the structure, but it was headed to the structure. So our initial response is a couple of engines and a couple of brush trucks, along with forestry division. So, and as you can see, initially we got the drone up to get an idea where the fire was, where it was headed, how many acres were involved. Just gives you a good idea, an overview. The initial engine brush truck went to the, you can see the residence that fire was headed towards. And then we have a brush truck that started just working the edge of the fire, the head of the fire here that was in a harvested cornfield, last year's cornfield. So this actually this brush truck is carries 250 gallons of water, and it has a high pressure pump system on it. I don't know if you noticed the firefighter there with the nozzle. It's putting a high pressure system, and it also has foam on it. But normally on these grass fires, we're going to use just standard water, and it does control the winds. Of course, the humidity is in the 20 to 25%, so that increased the fire spread. Here is a little bit of heat. Of course, the red area is the hottest area, showing that same fire there with the heat, and it looks worse than from the thermal, the heat spots, but it's really not that hot. But it does show up in the heat areas, and you can see the heat shows up coming off. And now we have the first and the second. They send 2 dozers from the Tennessee Division of Forestry. So that's always good to see them arrive on the scene. Our primary goal, of course, on grass and woods fires is we protect the structures, and if it's small enough, of course, we'll contain it and put it out. But when it gets out in the woods and the fields, the best option is to put the fire plow to use. And there's a thermal, what a thermal looks like, with the red showing the hot spots. So they're going to get unloaded. They used had 2 crews with the 2 dozers and a supervisor that walks the line and makes sure it doesn't jump the line. So our brush truck here was continuing to just work the flank, the left flank of the fire here, but the dozer was going to go ahead and put a line around it, so make sure it's out. And here you can see the firefighters are working from the burned side. That's the safest place to work, where the fire is already burned through. There's no danger of getting caught with a wind change or something like that. And here's the one dozer unloaded, headed up in the woods. Put a line around there, started, and then the next dozer is coming off. And these are the John Deere 650 dozers. The enclosed cab, air filtration system, and a plow on the back, and they They do quick work in a field. Takes them a little bit longer to go through the woods, but they'll get through the woods pretty quick too.
Not endangering anything. The dozers are unloaded.
But he's going the other direction to, and they'll meet on the back side of the fire and get it plowed all the way around. Of course, you get a view of where the fire is going. This fire here is the burning against the wind, and also we check with the drone. You can get an idea of where the fire is headed and what may be in its path. So there's a deer shooting house that I'm sure the owner would not want to be burned if we could keep it from getting to that point. So what we just, since the fire is burning back and burning slow there, the dozer's on the way, so we're not too concerned, but we keep an eye on that. So here's the dozer starting out in the field, just making a loop around it. And like I said, they can make quick work of the fire going across the field here. So the cause of the fire was has not been determined. There was a person at the residence. He described a couple hundred yards back in the field that the fire just all of a sudden with a loud boom started. So yeah, things didn't quite add up, but we'll let our investigator take a look at it and see if. But of course today they were not issuing, the Forestry Division was not issuing any burn permits due to the low humidities and the dry conditions. Because the winds are not severe, only in the 5 to 10 mile an hour. So you can see the wind's moving, but it's not uncontrollable. The fire's not going that fast. But just putting a plow line around it, and then you can see. Okay, here's the thermal of that same. You can see the heat, the movement. It shows the heat and the smoke coming off of, or just the heat, which the smoke has heat in it, but coming off of the fire, and then the what it looks like to just move right in front of it, and overturned earth there. You can see how cool it is, a black. So white is hot, and red is the hottest portions, and then and you can see red on the other side of the plow line, but that's just the sun showing that. Oh, here's a quick picture of unfortunately the little snake didn't make it. So most of the animals and small rodents survive fires, but unfortunately that one was down by the pond, and it must have been a little hotter there because that snake didn't survive. Here's just a close-up of what it looks like. The dozer just cruising through this field and putting about it. Puts about an 8-foot plow line around it if you look at it. And they can move right on. Now, if they're in the woods, they got to go around trees and stuff. It takes them a little bit longer. But this was approximately 15 acres by the time they got it contained. So no major fire, but just springtime fire season. You got to have some, be careful and watch it, and don't let it get away from you. Here's a dozer coming over, and we was watching the shooting house up here, and he's making it around to where the shooting house is. So the important part, we saved the deer stand in the shooting house, so they'll be glad for that. Making his way around here, and he's still about 100 yards from that shooting house, but it's burning slowly. he will come around and meet up with the other dozer that's coming the other direction, and they will double check. Usually they will turn around and follow that line back and double check to make sure that the wind hasn't caused the fire to jump or get over the line. But yep, here's the other dozers made it that far. So both dozers are in here. Got the line all the way around. Fire's contained. No structures damaged. Everybody's good. We can start packing up. Get ready to go home. And coming back in, there's the structure where the closest house was. Always some kids come out and watch. They always enjoy it if it's safe. And we'll see you next time. Y'all stay safe.